gotta leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The field's not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out to
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. Happy Wednesday. I'm Cap, no co-host today, but we do have some special guests joining us in about 45 minutes or so. And real quick, I'm obviously in the hotel today, not the normal studio. Mic is not suspended, but we do have the mic. Just quick mic check. Is the audio okay? How are we sounding this morning? It seemed like it got a lot crisper when I held it up to my. Is this good or is it okay? Let me put it back. Let's see the thumbs up. Is that okay there? Can you hear me there if it's just sat on the desk? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. GM to all the GMers, appreciate you all out there. Thomas, Blockmage, Mayhem, Absolute Zero, Mike Campbell, the lawyer, OX lawyer, Web3 Warhead, and all of our GMers. We're live on here on X Audio, X Video, as well as Abstract and YouTube. While you're over there, if you haven't yet done so already, hit that like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Joey, how is my audio?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so it sounds kind of far away and crackly.
This right now it sounds far away and crackly.
Yeah.
How about now? How's that? Is that better?
A little bit. It sounds crackly now.
I don't really want to hold it the whole show, but I guess I can if it's too bad when I'm not. How's that?
We can hear every time you like move it around though. Like I can hear it.
Yeah, I know.
Like moving. So,
but if I
be careful with moving it too much.
Audio is mid. better when it's closer, but we can't hear me. It's good either way. A little crisper. Is it okay now? Is this okay?
One more time. Sorry, the little one's yelling at me.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Yeah, it sounds a little better.
All right, I'll hold it. I'll hold it here for a bit, and if it gets bad or cuts out, let me know.
Let me switch to the audience too, and I'll check down there for you.
Appreciate y'all bearing with me here this week. Back, I think travels. I'm heading back today, so I'd love to stay in Miami all week and hang out with more friends. Quick trip, check the consensus box, and heading back. Must be an X thing. YouTube sounded crisp, so trying to think why. Wonder why X would be. Actually, I do see something's registering that doesn't normally, but the hookup should be the same. I don't know. If we're okay, I'm not going to troubleshoot live. We'll, I guess if it gets bad, if it cuts out, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just power through it. Hearing that the best audio is on YouTube. Seems fine over there. So if X is giving an issue, maybe head over to YouTube and that'll get it fixed. But long story short, we will be back. I don't think I have any travel for the foreseeable future after today. So going forward, should be back in the normal studio and live. I also know video, not great to have lights behind me, but shut all the curtains and I don't know. We'll actually, I will give you a quick little, I'll give you a quick tour here. Let me change the title. Shout out to Imlo. Imlo hooked up a friend with an extra consensus pass yesterday. Appreciate you, good sir. And great seeing so many people in, even though it was a quick trip for me. It's great to see a lot of friends yesterday. Met Funky in real life for the first time at an introduction.com luncheon, and then saw many friends at both Consensus and even more so at the Pudgy Penguins and OpenSea party last night. Live from Miami. We will go with for now. And then if anyone has I know things are ripping, and from Bitcoin to Zcash, crypto across the board, NFTs are continuing to pump. We had another new NFT mint. We missed it. We did, I think, a lot of the recent cooks we've talked about on the show prior to minting. The one we missed was Arcade Pepes. Am I saying that right? They were I think 0.02 mint, and they ripped up. I'll check the current floor, but pretty cool. Had I seen them, I would have minted these because it just tugs on my nostalgia heartstrings. Stonks, I think it's Stonks is another one. Ripped up to 0.04 ETH. It's up 800 some percent on the day. Let me grab these. I can't find the collection. I thought it did a lot of volume. I figured it'd be trending. Stonks is also. Oof. I don't know if it's hopefully my internet's good, because it's not. Oh man, I don't know there we go. Okay. My OpenSea was not working at all. Speaking of OpenSea, I'm jumping around here a little bit, but speaking of OpenSea, the mobile app, which has been in a very invite-only beta, they were handing out essentially like login codes or download codes last night at the Pudgy Penguin OpenSea event. So I am excited to check that out. I did see the app. It's the first time I've seen it. Like, I've seen some videos and stuff. First time I've seen the actual app. And I know I see Diego out there. I know he's a fan. Jesus, have you got on OpenSea mobile app yet?
Yeah. I've been in testing for quite a while.
So I thought. Still a fan?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Massive fan on it. We did the perps contest. That was something they were doing internally. But yeah, I mean, it's very smooth. A lot of features. Everything's and they're very responsive, Zach and Chris and the guys. Whenever there was a bug, when there was a point where my wallet showed I had like $9 trillion, and I was like, can y'all please make this accurate? Like it was wild, man. But yeah, it's a great app. I think a lot of people are really going to like it.
Yeah, smash that sell button. Did you see this Pepe arcade? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. We were. I was talking about it during the space yesterday, and the mint was going live shortly, like right as our space started. And then I go and look at it, and there was like 13 left to mint. It was 20 minutes from public, and I don't know if it actually made it to that. And then boom, it just ripped. Yeah.
Is it's on ETH?
Wild. Yeah, it's on ETH. It's on ETH mainnet. You're talking about the arcade Pepes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why I can't.
Yeah,
I can't find it.
Filter by just by ETH itself. I mean, it's there. It's yeah, it is.
Oh, I got it.
Like
got
number 6. It's right below mutants. 0.32 ETH floor price right now.
So weird. It's not.
Are you looking on the mobile app?
No, I'm on the desktop here. I couldn't find it on desktop, but I will. So it's still pre-reveal. I've seen a lot. I thought it had already revealed just based on the timeline because I've seen a lot of cool ones that I vibed with. This is. I am a little like I'm not. I don't know, man. I don't know as if spending 0.3 ETH on a pre-reveal NFT is something I'm back in the mode to do, but
even that's something that's kind of like a derivative too, right? I mean,
there's only 100 of them.
Merging it with Pepe, and then like there's nothing innovative there with the artwork.
Mm-hmm. And there's only 100 of them. Is that right? 101?
Yeah, it's like 111.
Okay,
they've disappeared off my screen now.
It's weird, right? Yeah,
yeah, you have to filter by Ethereum. So if you just click the Ethereum button up there at the top, they'll pop up. But if you're just looking at all, they're not going to show up.
300 ETH in the last 24 hours. 101 is the supply. 77 unique owners. I think I said it yesterday on the timeline. I'll pin it up top now. I think we're seeing some glimpses of what NFT season 2 might look like. And one of those things is smaller supplies. We don't need collections of 10,000. There's not that many of us here, and there's no new people coming in right now. Smaller collections are going to be, you made a 10,000 PFP collection, like you're probably not making it out of the starting gates, like probably DOA, unless I don't know. I mean, there's ways to, sure, you could do something for free. Like there's ways to do it, but I think A, smaller supply, B, what I just pinned up top, this Arsham Mint is setting the standard for season 2 of NFTs. Going to be wild to see everyone copy pasta Yuga in back-to-back seasons. I shared it. Yeah, people were paying. Yeah, gas wars. That was the sign we were back. Payne says $300 to $400 or $300 to $400 in gas. That is a telltale sign. If we got a gas war in 2026. Speaking about tugging on my heartstrings, more so than the OG video games characters is a gas war. So gas war is a sign we're back. Although, yeah, I am okay. I'm not. I will blink. I'm not being held hostage, Brick, at all. I will say this. So 2 things. 1, smaller collection sizes. Period. Hard stop. Like we don't need 10,000 of anything. Probably don't need 5,000 of anything. Smaller collections, and then experiential mints. Whether now I know this one didn't go that case unless you kind of gas war as an experience, and I would say, yeah, that it is. But how they did not only the inside of Otherside, not only part of that experience, but bear with me as I try not to make a mess here and move my little. I've went through I don't know, like 6 or 7 Nespresso pods this morning. My little coffee shots not hitting quite as strong as the colada. That's gonna be my first thing after the show today is get a colada wound down here. Smaller mints, how you're curating your community. Not everyone's going to do it in Otherside. I think we'll see more and more people go into Otherside to do experiential mints like this. But having a quality allow list, quality, and it's not just, I think what they did well with the Arsha mint is they gave chances, like, it was a raffle system. If you're not familiar, you got raffle tickets, and those raffle tickets, the number of raffle tickets to get the allow list pass was based, or to get the pass to mint was based on your holdings. So what assets you held, those got you tickets, and the most tickets came from participation in Otherside. If you had 50 XP, I think you got 100 raffle tickets. So while some people who maybe only held assets didn't have had never got another side, some of them hit on the pass. But I think most of the people that got those passes were ones that had been actively participating in the other side. I'm seeing I know I'm a little biased. I know my algorithm is different than others. I've seen more Otherside content on my timeline in the past week, maybe in the past month, than I've seen in the past year. And the exciting part is, no offense, Machiavelli, who's been, beating that drum from the jump. It's been a lot of new people. I think of like B-rated. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his handle or not, but it's a lot of new people who just got another side. They're experiencing it and they're creating content around it. And I think people are like, this Arsham pass is, it's 11,000 ape now. So pushing up on an ETH. 300, I know, smaller collection, but that's still pretty impressive. And I think it's going to lead to a lot more people getting another side. So people are starting to FOMO in. People are FOMOing into mints. It's not just NFTs. Back to the opening, the Modern Market guys, who I really enjoy that show, think fairly highly of them. They're great traders. They went from bearish to straight on, not just from bearish to bullish. They went from bearish to FOMO. Like, just you could hear it in B-Check's voice today. He bought Zcash last night, and like, I'm not trying to misquote, but something to the effect of like, you feel bad if you're sidelined right now. You feel bad if you missed this trade. Like, they like, it's the sentiment around the space at large. I've been saying the bottom was in, not just NFTs, but for the past month, like, it just really seems like sentiment changed, despite still the uncertainty, despite the Iran conflict, which maybe, I'm not going to hold my breath, but maybe is coming to an end. There is apparently Iran and US are drafting some letter of understanding or memorandum to hopefully, end things over there. What happens then? What happens if there's no Iran conflict, macro isn't as crazy, and there's not this cloud of uncertainty hanging over everything? What if we actually get the Clarity Act passed? What if we actually get a strategic Bitcoin reserve? Like, there's so many things that are like in flight, so many positive tailwinds for the industry. They just haven't been able to push through this overarching cloud. And I don't know, man, feels like we're right on the cusp of it. The whole beach ball underwater effect. And yes, it's not just NFTs. It's got to be other things move, which is happening. But one of the big differences with NFTs is when things start popping off. Now, I know I'm saying, 300 is enough, 500 is enough. We don't need supplies of 10,000. Even a 10,000 supply collection, even a 20,000 supply collection, it doesn't take much to move that. Like, there's in most of these collections, there's not 20,000 for sale. Yes, I know not all of them are listed. And if things start, if you see a 100% rip overnight, you're going to see more people list, and some people are looking for exit points. But things can move very fast and aggressively. And then I think what happens, you start seeing, this people start FOMOing, people start feeling like, oh, I might get left behind. And it's not just those of us that haven't left the space. Those of us like, hey, I've remained an NFT bull or an NFT optimist, I guess, for the duration. I've never the technologies, it has changed. It's only gotten better. There's far more we can do today than ever before. And we're now starting to see some of these teams lean into the new tech, start doing things differently that you just couldn't do a few years ago. And I am, and I think like also tying it all into Miami, tying it into Art Basel and Solana Accelerate yesterday, like sentiment's good. Like, yeah, not everyone is. Oh man, I left. I should have. I'll show some pictures. I had I wanted to give some love for some of the things at Consensus, but just like it really feels like we're not in a raging bull, but man, it feels like we could happen. Like I know they say sell in May and go away. I think we're setting up for a very exciting summer. Are you feeling the same thing, Jesus?
Yeah, I think so. I think summer's gonna be pretty popping. I don't think the selling may go away. I mean, I just now seen this tweet at 30 minutes ago that if Iran agrees, like the strait's gonna be fully open and everything's like going well. So like I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of these conflicts were causing, uncertainty in the market.
For sure.
I don't see an issue as long as Michael Saylor didn't dump his whole Bitcoin bag. We're good.
Yeah, which that's the other news. He said he is going to, for the first time, said he's going to think about, selling some Bitcoin. Which, I don't know. I don't know if it's like, yes, it could create some more uncertainty and I guess could freak some people out, but I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. The one thing Digital Savers Club, maybe, does that sound right? I'm just going to post it and I'll share it up top. The first booth when you walked into Consensus yesterday was like a carnival booth, had a bunch of carnival games, and I'm a event nerd. I'm a retail nerd. So when I see things like this, while the activation was cool and you could get, you could win, basically like 4 or 5 different carnival games, and each one you could win prizes. It's free to play. You had to get a card, and so they had like, I'm pulling it up here so everyone can see it if you're on the screen. If you're on YouTube, head over there. You can see what I'm sharing here. This is, so you walk in and the first thing you see, the first booth you see is a big giant carnival booth with a Pepe head on the top of it. And, there was different games. Like this clowning around was basically like he threw like, not a ball, but they had like socks, like wound up socks. You had to hit, if you hit 3 of the same head, you knock 3 over, you won a big prize. You can see here they had Pudgy plushies, they had Klano plushies, and there is Max, Web3 Max, I think is her handle, doing some great content. We're gonna have her on the show. She's working with a pretty cool brand, doing some bringing equities, bringing pre-IPO stuff on chain. Excited to have her on, talk about that. But DSC, Digital Spenders Club, is who put on the booth, and candidly, I'm not exactly sure what they do. There's like a wallet approach. Anyways, my whole point being was good booth. And the thing, like the nerd in me, what got me excited was not just the price. You know what I'll do tomorrow? I'll open some of their blind boxes too. I'll open some on stream tomorrow after I get back. I have them here, but they're in my car. Unfortunately, I didn't plan ahead. Anyways, long story short, landing the plane here, this whole booth, it was made out of cardboard, which I love. Like a booth like this, I've seen people spend $250,000 on a booth of this size. And to do something that looked good, it accomplished the point. Like whether they spend $250,000 or I don't know, 20 grand on a big cardboard booth like this, I'm guessing, let's say 20 to 50 grand, it's going to have the same impact. Like no one, they don't win the prize. They want to play the game. So it was like the ball game. It was the ring toss game where you had to throw rings and land them on, glass bottles. There was the ball toss where you had to toss a ball and had to land in the bushel basket. And then there was like a fishing game where you had a magnet and you had to catch basically a frog and put it, or fish, and put it up on the next level. Simple, carny games you've seen before, but to do it, and like I said, they did have a like some sort of wallet type, like I don't know. I really don't. I need to find out what Digital Spenders Club really does so I can give them proper credit. But working with Pudgies, working with Klanos, like this is more of this. That was my whole point, is more collaboration, highlighting brands that exist, IP that's being built. Like they could have done their own toys, their own plushies. No one cares. People like Pudgies, people like Klanos, like this sort of stuff. And I have no idea what the terms were. I have no idea if Pudgies and Klanos just gave free toys, to put in the blind box, whether they bought them. I have no idea the model, but it's just like it's stuck out to me that not only do I think more broader conferences, not just NFTs, Consensus is a good example, but brands here working together, whether it's an activation in an event like this. Case in point, OpenSea and Pudgy Penguins had a great party last night. That's not their first time working together. Something like, to do an activation or an event, but more of that. We can have fun. We can be competitive. You can have fun on the timeline. I think someone, Dort, this morning said, "Man, am I shifting teams because they had arepas at the party last night?" And no, I'm not switching teams, but I do enjoy good food. My point is, I finally attempt to land the plane, and we'll get to Platty Mama and then back to Joey, is things like this in real life, things like other brands minting, doing activations, creating mini games, and minting an Otherside. Like you don't need to go build and this isn't a shot at Pudgy at all. Please don't take it this way. Let's say Pepe Arcade. Don't do your roadmap now and sell digital land plots and try to raise funds to go build an open world metaverse. Do something in Otherside. Like work with those that are in the space. Like if you're going to do a booth like this, you're going to give away toys, reach out to Pudgy, reach out to Klanos, give away, like you don't have to, like, I know for some, it's like not every collaboration is going to make sense, but I'm just throwing out examples here where not only do I think we can accomplish a lot more working together instead of fiercely competing and trying to tear each other down, I think it's also goes a long way towards momentum and just the excitement in the space and bringing back those 2021, 2022 vibes. Not about floor price. No one was talking about floor prices yesterday, but people were having a good time. People were having a good time at Consensus. People were having a good time at OpenSea or, OpenSea Pudgy Party. And I know it's not like depths of a bear, but it's also, because it's not a raging bull market, like the quality of people, the interactions are top notch. We've had Will from used to be Cryptoys, now Digitoys. Nice rebrand. Had him on the show a few times. Had a great conversation last night. Talked about what they're building, what they're doing. I think we're not only going to have Will back on the show here. Might have him do once a month, once a week. We'll see. Might have him do a segment kind of like we're doing with Bunchu, just talking about IP licensing and all that they're doing on that front. Like really exciting stuff happening. And I think my common thread is, and this isn't like, if you just found this space in 2026, I mean, my first question would be how, You know, how did you find the space, and whoever onboarded you, we need to copy pasta that. But I think most people are ones that have been around for several years. Like a lot of people talk about like the 21, 22 class. I don't know if anyone really talks about like the 2023 class or the 2024 class. I guess maybe some people came in from meme coins, but I think most of those people got rinsed and left. Like I think like if you really like for any sort of like real size or real scale, 21, 22 is probably like the last quote unquote class where a big wave of people came in as active participants. And we can have that again. Like it's going to happen again. It's just going to be very different than the last time around. It's going to be a lot of one at a time, onesie, twosie. But there's a lot of things that people can get excited about, a lot of things that people can have fun with, whether it's, a virtual experience like Otherside, whether it's a claw pool with Beezy, whether it's the upcoming Clubhouse. Like there's a lot of, I guess the energy and my read on sentiment is I do believe we're on like we're at the beginning of a bull. I think we're at the edge of things taking off. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of positive energy. And it's not a raging bull because the grifters, the charlatans, minus a couple who are already doing pre-sales again and people are sending money. That's another story. We're not going to give that any more air cover today. But minus, a handful of people, most people that are still around are really quality people. A lot of builders. Not all are builders. There are some active participants. But if I had 20 conversations last night at the Pudgy Pigwin OpenSea party, 18 of them were people who were actively building something in the space. That's pretty exciting. As an entrepreneur, it's really exciting to be around like-minded individuals. And it doesn't mean you have to be a builder, but even those who may not consider themselves builders, or maybe they don't consider them a Web3 founder. I'm going to shout out Mayhem and Dort, two people, longtime friends and Coffee with Captain Fam, they're in the war room. Both of them have talked about recently about building some stuff with Claude and vibe coding, and it's exciting to me. It's exciting. I think like just the builder energy is very, very real. And while you can sense that, you can see that maybe on X, you can maybe see that in group chats or Telegram or Discord. It's a different level when you see it in person. I think because of how many of the people are those quality builders, in a sense. I don't know if that's landing or making any sense, but I'm glad I made the trip. It just, even not that I needed motivation or inspiration, but I think it like more than anything, it confirmed my priors. I've been feeling the tinglies for a little over a month now. That feels like we're heading back in the right direction. And those priors were absolutely confirmed both last week and then last night here in Miami. Platy Mama, appreciate your patience. GM, what brought you up this morning?
GM, Captain, what originally brought me up, I was going to share something about the Arsha Mint and Otherside, but I just want to say, I think you're on to some with regards to the sentiment. I think you're spot on in terms of the people who are here being a high quality. There is a difference that I've noticed. I've been here in NFTs since 2021. I have shifted my perspective along the way. And there are still people who maybe don't have the bandwidth to be in different projects, who are sitting there with their bags that are down, that think, oh, well, all NFTs are dead, but they're not. Like in other areas where, like, for example, like the Yuga ecosystem. But I just wanted to shift to, not to get into too much politics, but the United States has their 250th birthday coming up. And I recall when the president was elected making a lot of comments about how plan is to have a very great celebration, and in line with US midterms coming up in, I think, the fall. I'm Canadian, so forgive me if I'm way off, but I would think that a political party in power would want to use whatever tools within their means to strategically make I guess, the global, I guess, financial sentiment positive, so they would, you know, get positions reelected and all that. So I feel like you're on something, and you might be right in terms of, you know, you mentioned about the Clarity Act and all this and that things could shift in a positive direction globally, financially, macro, whatever you want to say, but which would affect the crypto market and positively. But yeah, I came up because I wanted to share about the Daniel Arsham mint, but I'll just shift a little bit to like my experience on Ape Chain. I came to Ape Chain last year, and I'm just like so bullish on Ape Chain, and being a part of ETH and Abstract for the last couple of years as well, and Cardano, and I've been everywhere. I had like the wrong impression of Bored Ape and the ape ecosystem. Like I thought, you know, I came late in 2021, so I missed all of that. I was never part of any of the elite projects. You know, became part of smaller projects, and I just thought it was this elitist thing that, you know, I'm not part of the club. Well, let me tell you, since last year, I'm a part of the club. I feel part of the club, and I don't even own a Yuga asset. And I had founders like talking to me, acknowledging me, helping me when my MetaMask wasn't working. And I'm like, I don't even own this founder or developer's NFT. Like, this is amazing. Like, I totally got shifted to the opposite impression, and I couldn't believe it. It's like, where was I the last 4 years? Like, these people are amazing. And it all started when I, you know, went to Ape Chain and then joined the Otherside. Now, my son, I don't know if you guys all know Pawns, Astonorium. That's the Plague I was part of for, you know, that was my main project. I'm like, I don't have time to play these Web3 games. He's like, get your kids to do it. So I've always gotten my kids to play these games, and they like lose interest pretty fast. But my 10-year-old, I said, okay, you got to try a game. He's like, okay, fine, Mom. We went on the other side. He's been on the other side with me for 6 months now, and he just got a Daniel Arsham mint pass.
That's awesome.
Let's go. I am so excited. He does not own a Yuga asset. He
does now.
So this is what I mean, is like, I am so glad I shifted my perspective to give you know, the ape community or the Yuga community a chance. It is amazing. And the opportunity could go for a 10-year-old with no Yuga assets. That just goes to show you that you mentioned about, you know, people working together. I totally see that. I was like, I would watch mint and I would see people, they're not minting to flip, they're minting to collect. I'm like, wow, this is what I like. This is where I need to be here. And I'm telling all kinds of people, you know, you need to come here. And yeah, I just think you're spot on that there is a positive sentiment, but I know there's so many people that don't see it because they're still stuck in, you know, communities that are not really moving right now. And it's really hard for them. And I understand. But there are also new people. One of the most amazing people I've met in the Otherside is a person named Mark Gator. He's so awesome. He knows all of the little secrets and places to get badges and all this stuff. He's really amazing. If you ever see him in there, but he said he only joined a year ago. Like, he wasn't into NFTs, but he's into gaming, and that's how he came in.
It's awesome. It's so cool. Appreciate you sharing. And yeah, a lot to unpack here. We will get to Joy. I want to comment on a few of these things. Also want to share some of the comments in the chat. Dort, thanks for sharing. I know you got to run the lab, but appreciate all of your thoughts, because I do, as much as I would love to have won an Arsham pass because I hold Yuga assets, I'm equally as excited the story we just heard, that because it's not just some farmer, it's not just someone that was botting something, and it's not just some whale. It's like, it's an active user, someone who's been in there and not I guess grinding. It just depends on how you define that. Like it's like, but enjoying the experience and participating. And I think where I was trying to find it, Figgy said this on a recent interview that while holding assets will help, it's by itself just not going to be enough. Like I think as I think things are going to, like the new norm moving forward, will holding those assets likely are going to give you a bonus. It's going to be like a multiplier. But I think like if you really want to increase your odds, you're going to need to get in the other side. You're going to need to level up. You're going to need to, do you have to be the top level? Do you have to grind every day? No, I mean, I see Dobbins in the chat, and I'll just kind of summarize here. It's in the YouTube chat if you want to read the whole thing, but he says basically get in there for 5 minutes every morning, finish his tasks, hit level 50 yesterday. On the other side, Dort's kind of like, yeah, kind of wants to make sure that it's fun and not just people getting in there to grind levels because they can get some financial reward, but actually like a sticky experience, something that people are going to come back and play when there's not the financial reward. And I agree. I see both sides of it. I also think one of the best ways to get new people in there is this, better than burning a bunch of money on ad dollars or KOL campaigns to try to get new people to come in and check it out that they probably won't even come, let alone come and stay. So I think it's a tough balance. It's also, when we talk about smaller collection sizes, mint like 300, really tough to distribute across tens of thousands of stakeholders, tens of thousands of holders and active participants. It's difficult. So, but I like the way they're doing it. I appreciate the approach. And I think they'll also learn and continue to develop. He says Otherside levels like the new Discord level for grinding allow list. Yes and no. I think that's probably the best analog. I think this is better than Discord. When you think about Otherside, it's not a game. It's not just an open world, but mix of gaming and open world and social network, and from bubbles to just chatting, using the chat feature in there. Like I think it's a better experience. It's better than Discord calisthenics. Is it going to get old for some people? Yeah, sure, I get it. I'm not a Discord grinder, and I'm probably not going to be an Otherside grinder, but I'm definitely going to get in there more and complete more tasks. Because I believe where they're heading is more than just the daily tasks. I believe where they're heading is going to be really cool, interactive, immersive experiences, from brand partnerships and collaborations to new games. And I think because of this momentum they have now, I see it bringing in a lot more builders into the other side. And therefore, you're going to see this growth and this evolution a lot faster than if it was just Yuga building themselves. Not even talking about like the community builders and those who are using the SDK and building their own independent projects. I think you're going to see a lot of others start building experience mints and stuff in there. My boldest take, and then we'll get to Joey before we get. I see Aaron in the green room. My boldest take is I think you're going to see. I know nothing. I have no inside info. I have no one has said this. It's pure speculation. I haven't heard a single other person say it. But I think one of the most obvious things that no one has said yet is I think it's only a matter of time before we see a Beeple mint in the other side. They just did it. I mean, Daniel Arsham's a acclaimed artist, very successful in a traditional art world. Yes, had been in an NFT collection in 22, I think 21, 22, but very successful artist. How they did it, the mechanics, everything so far, I think has been, they nailed it. And I think this is like, okay, now proof of concept, it works. The community responded. I think we're going to see not only other, like, I think if they do more brand collaborations, we're likely to see that. I think the maybe not the next one, but I'll say within the next year, I bet we see a Beeple mint in Otherside. Not everyone knows, like, Figgy is responsible for getting people into Web3. People used to work for Figgy. Like, Figgy is not only in the trenches and understands the space and, is seemingly making maybe not all, but certainly a lot of the right moves since taking on the CEO reins. He's also insanely connected from the Daniel Arshams of the world to the Beeples of the world. And imagine what happens then from the crypto participants and the digital art collectors, those that like, I don't want to miss the people, man. So part of me is like, yeah, I would have loved to hit a Daniel Arsham mint pass. Probably not going to go pay 11,000 ape for one, but I'm going to check this other side tasks. Yeah, a little bit of FOMO for not having completed them, earlier. Mike says, it's true. You don't know. It's true that you don't know until you start experiencing the community. And it really is it's a lot of great people, a lot of real high quality people, many of which have been here for years. And we're more and more meeting individuals like Platty Mama, who's gotten active in Otherside, gotten active on Ape Chain, and is added to that community, added to that ape family. And while you may not get access to the VIP section or the gated section of the clubhouse, or maybe you don't get a multiplier, no one's going to judge you if you don't have an ape or a mutant. Like it's not that deep. It's in fact, I'd rather support someone like Platty Mama and her kids than some of the now that things are heating up again, you're seeing it's not just one. I saw actually, I'm just going to leave it at this last comment on this topic. I saw Baron von Hussel tweeted out about some people using the Bored Ape Yacht Club PFP to, I shouldn't say extract grift because I don't know exactly what they're doing right now. I'm making assumptions based on what I know to be true, what they've done in the past, and they're extractors. They're not additive. They're kind of running back same playbook that they did before. And Baron called him out. He just said basically like, do your research, I appreciate it. I think that's how you protect the integrity of a decentralized club. So my whole point is for every one person like that, there's not 10, there's probably more like 100 people like Platty Mama who's really enjoying the community, is a great add to the ecosystem, and really starting to see this organic groundswell of, high quality people from Otherside to Ape Chain and cross community. That's the other thing I really see happening now that probably wasn't to this strong in 2021, 2022, is so much cross community, cross platform, cross ecosystem collaboration, from things like booths at Consensus to side events or parties like OpenSea working with Pudgy Penguin last night. Joey, appreciate your patience. Go ahead and get in here.
Hey, sorry about that. So I came up when you were originally talking about like the IRL activations and people working together, and something that we've always said since we launched Beezy, which was collaboration over competition. I don't think people understand like how big we'll call it a pizza is in this space, that you really only need a tiny piece of it to be successful long term financially as a company and as an individual. So the more people that work together to build this space up, the more it benefits everybody. This is not some tiny micro niche of a space. Like there's billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars that flow through NFTs and crypto, and I don't know what the most recent numbers say, but it's a lot of money. So recently we did a podcast, Spaces, etc., with Collector Crip, and people will be like, why would you do a podcast with a competitor? Well, I mean, for us, we look at it like there's two companies that have been building for years in this space that are both trying to achieve the same goals by bringing collectibles on chain and improving the way people interact with them. Why wouldn't we work together? Why wouldn't we help each other? Why wouldn't we try to share each other's community, right? And then to the IRL thing, we recently did an event in Korea where we had an IRL claw machine. And the whole idea was to get people to come to the BZ table, BZ booth, right? Learn about BZ, sign up for BZ, get a discount code to try BZ for the first time, and oh look, here's this real life claw machine that when you pull something out, we had physical items there for people, and we're doing another one in Korea. This thing that's coming up where it's going to be the same thing, right? It's going to be come to the event, follow us on socials, post a picture, sign up for BZ. Oh, here's a claw machine that you get to play IRL.
Ooh, I lost you, Joey. Check. He fell off stage. We'll get you back here. Good. I thought it was me for a second. You're back, Joey.
My X hasn't crashed in like weeks. I thought we were beyond this. And
when we know, like, the telltale sign that we're really back when we've entered a real bowl is one of these days Joey's going to text me. I'm going to have a blue text bubble. Joey's going to be on here with an iPhone. He's never going to get rugged from Spaces. I kid. Go ahead.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, all these weeks, no issues, and now today. But anyways, the point is that IRL activations, whether you're in Web3 or not, still reign supreme. People love doing things. Like when I went to VCon and, all those booths, the NFT Alley, right? There was a claw machine there. There was the basketball hoop from Alien Friends. There was the arcade game from the Dino one, right? Like it was all stuff that you could actually physically touch and play that related back to Web3. So I know we love the digital space, but I still believe that physical, like touching things, will reign supreme for a long time. So that whole like carnival game thing they had set up was probably an incredible experience. And I would wager it's probably the busiest experience at all of Consensus.
Yep. Yeah, as far as I could tell, I think it was, there was a line the majority of the time around it. I'm not seeing the post I was referencing, but as I was looking for it, I found a couple of the things I just wanted to highlight real quick, and then we'll get Aaron in here. I'm surprised I don't see Ernest. I actually got a chance to meet Ernest last night, and I told him had I known he was here in Miami, we might have arranged. I might have got more of a larger space and done the in real life segment. But a couple of things I want to call attention to. Shout out to Ape Whale and Alert Apes. They just created. I pinned that up top. Shout out again to Dort and Law of the Saul and Marav and everyone helping with Welcome Apes. That welcome pack is landing for sure. Speaking of landing, I get back today. I believe my sticker pack and my Bored Ape Yacht Club hat, I think, has arrived. I think Frosty's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have you're doing your vibe coding session today. I believe that's today, unless I missed it. It was yesterday. I pinned that up top. And so much on the timeline here. I am not finding the one post I was actually looking for, but it doesn't matter. I got the point. I don't want to belabor it on just not everyone rocking an 8 PFP has the community's best interest at heart. A lot of them do. A lot of them are really great people. Not just 8 PFPs. It's really those who like weathered this bear and have stayed in the space. Like they're most, not all, most are just really not just quality people and human beings, but like-minded, more builders than you might expect. And builders is a spectrum, like many things, from devs to community leaders and everything in between. But just a really, really exciting time from my perspective, and refreshing is the word I keep coming back to. It's just it feels good, and all these feelings, like I don't want to say it has nothing to do with floor price, because I do think when number goes up, that definitely helps sentiment, but it's not the lead driver. It's not why these people continue to build and continue to show up. it is a, it's a byproduct. It is part of the reason why we're seeing a season 2 is because so many people didn't just bail and continue to build and continue to execute. Apparently Otherside just shared a trippy video on Instagram. Followed everyone from that reel. Don't know what's going on. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll check it out after the show. Thanks for sharing, Diablito. Congrats, by the way, on getting your picture featured on the Rec Drink site. And I think that hits on all of the comments in the chat. And the other thing I pinned up top was 3.2 billion in funds in raises have just been announced for crypto VC funds from Han Ventures and A16Z. So capital's flowing back into the space. People are excited. There's also, I put an update up there from PM for anyone that, like Platy Mama, your son, anyone that did get the Arsha Mint Pass, starts at 11 a.m. today. The contract interaction involves burning the access pass in Otherside. It means the access pass and ApeCoin on ApeChain need to be in the Glyph wallet in order to mint your Arsham starting today at 11 a.m. So those mints go live today. Congratulations again to everyone who hit, and I'm excited to see the reveal. Oh, Ibiza weekend, it says on the Otherside share. Yeah, so is that this weekend maybe? Just again, between what's happening with Otherside, what's happening with these new mint mechanics, and they continue to knock out the in real life activations. Unfortunately, I'm going to be missing the shout out to Jackie and Jack and Jackie. They're hosting a dinner tonight, private dinner, and then an after party afterwards. I wish I could. It almost got me to stay in town for another day just for that itself, but back-to-back weeks of travel and just have a busy month with the kiddo graduating, some things that I need to get done, and we'll feel better being back in the the home base. And yeah, Blockmage, I agree. We need to call out the bad actors, shame them out of the space. Can't let them take advantage of new people. I agree. All that being said, let me do a proper play in here. And I did have, and yes, I'm not gonna share any alpha, but I did have really enjoyed the conversations with Ernest last night, and may or may not be joining us, but we'll get Aaron in here for a quick Inside the Vault update from Unvault. This is Inside the Vault, brought to you by Unvault.
Yo, inside the vault, put royalties back on chain. Enforcement went optional, we bringing it back again. Freeze it at the source, then you move it with ease. Claim it where you land, one live, no duplicate keys. No rappers, no doubles, identity stays intact. Clean ownership trail, royalties paid, that's a fact. No, one live, no duplicate keys.
Welcome to Inside the Vault. I've got Aaron Haber joining me here on stage. Aaron, GM, not sure how much of that conversation you caught, but before we get started on the Unvault updates, exciting month ahead for you and the team. Any thoughts or conversation on the conversation we were just having, just regarding overall sentiment, the Otherside mint? Did you secure a Daniel Arsham mint pass?
Good morning to you and good morning to everyone. First off, I trivia fact, the lady singing in the back of the jingle is me.
The more you know.
The more you know. I love everything that's going on right now. And as much as I hate seeing bad actors, and I was a theater major, so I know bad actors, okay? But as much as I hate seeing bad actors come back into the space, it kind of also means we're back a little bit, right? Now, guys like you, me, other people, guys who are ladies, everybody needs to call them out and to protect the people that have been here, but also the new people that are coming in, because that's one of the things that drove people out of the space last time, was just getting liquidated after like one mint. So we need to protect the space from the bad actors. And this time around, we could have a bit of a different story of not just insane greed and ripping everybody off, but an actual quality experience for the new people coming in. In terms of first of all, I think the Daniel Irish Mint, the whole thing has been great. And no, I did not secure a pass, but I love what Figgy and the team cooked up. Um, you might not remember, but back in 2022, Below Board, my comedy collection, did a metaverse mint where you took your avatar and you went into this great lobby, and you actually went up to a window, almost like a cashier's window, and you minted with your avatar. It was wonky and not nearly as good as what Otherside did, but I love to see it, right? And I love the comments that Figgy made about how, yeah, you can hold an ape, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but the people that are active are the ones who are going to really get the benefits. And I like that a lot, and that's fine. You don't have to be active, but you also don't have to get, all the benefits of the people who are active. So I love that. And one thing I will say is, in real life is the alpha. Okay. And I know that, everybody's repeating that, but I would say there's probably about 99% of the space that maybe can't do in real life. So it's accurate. I love going out to Web3 in real life events. I love the fact that the Las Vegas Apes are meeting once a month now. In the hometown of Vegas. It's incredibly enjoyable. It's great for
You
relationships.
guys have a like a recurring place? You meet at the same place? Does it rotate? What do the logistics look like?
See, there's been 2 events so far, and it seems like it rotates. There is an ape-owned sushi restaurant in Vegas that was the last meet. I wasn't able to go to that one, but I assume that we'll be going back there, which is great. Dude sold an ape or 2 back in the day to fund his sushi restaurant in Las Vegas, and has picture of the I don't know, of that ape or a new ape or something up on the wall, and it's a great story. But what I wanted to say is that in real life is great, but then look, Bored Ape Yacht Club is also doing amazing metaverse activations. Things like your spaces and just spaces in general are very important, and things like Unvault, where you can simply be active on our platform and get rewarded and have great experiences. That's also important too, because even the people that can't meet up in real life, they're still a very, very important part of the community. I'm glad Bored Ape Yacht Club sees that. We see that. And if you're somebody who can't travel, or you're somewhere around the world that you just can't make it, we still love you too.
I love you, Aaron.
Same. I'm actually in the next room, just waiting for you to open the.
I was disappointed to not see you out here. Just sending Ernest to do the traveling and the hard work, huh? Is he, I'm guessing, not joining us this morning? He have a late night last night?
I am not my brother's keeper.
Speaking of late nights, I'm looking like I might have to drink tap water. I consumed all the bottled water, drank all the coffee. I might have one more like little espresso thing of coffee, but I might have to start drinking tap water. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my voice because I was up way past my bedtime last night.
It's humid. Just stick your head out the window.
Am I the only weirdo that just would not drink tap water? Like I can't think too many things more like disgusting to me than drinking tap water from a hotel. Like any tap water, but specifically from a hotel. For some reason, it's very cringe to me. Am I a weirdo?
Some places have great tasting water. Some places don't. I think we have been programmed by Big Water to assume that if you are drinking normal tap water, you're going to die. But then there are places, where that could be the case, where you're drinking just pure lead, in the water. So who knows? You know what? You're allowed to have your quirks, just like I am. And everybody else. So speaking of quirks, we had Pappy on our space yesterday. That was fun talking about quirkies.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Guys chopping it up over the power of protected royalties and why everyone should, if they're not already on a protected royalty contract like Quirky's moved to, they should chat with the Unvault team and get on board.
Well, yes, we were talking about how Unvault makes the migration that they did incredibly simple for anyone. And for the people who are listening now who are like, God damn, Aaron, look at you. If you're watching the video, look at that beautiful ape number 2960 that I minted on May 1st, 2021, and never been listed, never sold. But I'm more than an ape, everybody. I'm also Ernest Lee's partner in board council, and we are putting out Unvault, which is a cross-chain NFT platform which honors all royalties, no matter what. You don't have to beg us. You don't have to trick us with a 721C, although we do recommend migrating to one. We will pay your royalties. And if you are on an old 721C, we will help you easily migrate. I'm sorry, if you're on a 721, we'll help you easily migrate to a royalty enforced contract across multiple blockchains. We also make it so that your holders will now have your collection on ApeChain, ETH Mainnet, Base, Abstract, Solana, what am I forgetting here? Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, and once Robinhood launches, Robinhood as well, and then we'll move on and on till the break of dawn. That's what we have. And if you're like, yeah, but when is this thing coming out? It's been forever. Believe me, I know it. We want to launch yesterday, but here's what I've come to announce today to your people. Okay. We have a private beta going on right now. And if you DM me either on Unvault or my own Aaron Haber profile, I will consider you for the private beta. Now, here's a spoiler. I'll probably let you in, but I might ask a question like, why do you want in? And if you're like, to make you miserable, I'll probably be like, well, no, that doesn't work. But if you want to come in to see the platform, to test it out, to make suggestions to the dev team, feel free to come on in and experience it. Yes, you can buy things on the platform if you like, but you don't have to. Just listings, normal listings, and we're getting, I think we can list now. Like it's like 95% functional. The marketplace contracts are done, and now we are just going through the cross-chain contracts to double, triple make sure that our security stack is ready. So you know what's slowed down the opening cap?
What's that?
Coffee. That hack that happened, the kelp Aave hack, while it wasn't layer 0, which we're using to communicate between the chains, it was my understanding is it was their security stack having to do with layer 0. If people are really nerdy, DVNs, RPCs, etc., DDoS to trick the DVN to go to an RPC. That sentence actually makes sense. But we said, okay, we only have one DVN like they did, per chain, between chains. We're going to have 2. And so that has slowed down the public beta, but we think it's very important because it exponentially protects people and their assets to the point where, if some hacker is from the future, what are you going to do about a time traveler attack? Okay, I don't know how to protect against a time traveler attack. But anybody who's using modern
the alien
tech,
files are coming out today, I guess I heard. So
what is?
We not only have to worry about quantum computing, like an alien attack might be back on the menu. That might be the black swan event this cycle. Is what they're saying is it's not just quantum computing. It's the aliens are now in the conversation.
I just don't think that we should call people who are looking for a better life here in the country those names. But listen, you can do what you want. I love everybody. But look, we're securing our security stack which is why we're taking a few extra weeks. We're handing it off to OX Quit, the best in the business, to re-audit, and then we will launch our public beta with our bugs collection, which if your listeners remember, that is the rewards collection that if you are active, just like the Daniel Arisham mint, right? If you are active on Vault, and I don't mean farming, I mean just like being there, trying things out, letting us know what you think, you are going to get access to mint everything first and get that minter's divot, which could mean it's a reward system, which could mean that if you mint something and you let it go, you sell it. I mean, hell, I guess if you give it away, but I would sell it. Then every time it sells afterwards, you will get a reward. That reward is going to be equal to a piece of the royalties.
One thing I'm going to hit on there, and this is I'm going to comment on Hans's comments as well, is how you're doing it, right? Like rewarding early participants, rewarding the bug checkers, if you will. I think there's not just one way to do it, but I think really being thoughtful and intentional about how you're curating your allow list, your community, I think is very important. I think it's increasing importance. And I said, to Hans's question, he said, just a side question. How is the mint where people that are the most active have the biggest chance, different from a token drop, rewarding the most active users of the platform? Why is one awesome and the other one called farming and gets negative negative takes? Don't get me wrong, I really like Otherside, but this mint was a clear Otherside promotion and not much more than that in my eyes. Nothing wrong with it. Well done, nice to see. But was it really that special?
I don't know. I mean, was it that special? It was.
Well, I think like it's not
big metaverse mint.
Yeah, it's not just the metaverse mint, but I think what stood out as the most special is the mechanics on how they got to the curated list, because it wasn't just active participants. It wasn't just quote unquote farmers or those that were grinding Otherside. I'm not calling them farmers, by the way. They're people like truly enjoy, experiencing the Otherside experience. It was a combination of holders. So if you've held an ape or other deeds or a coda, you got utility. In the case of you got extra raffle tickets. It increased your chances of winning one of these rare, only 300 passes that exist. When you see that they're unique holders, and it's changed out because some people bought on secondary, but after the drop, it was 99% unique holders. That's pretty impressive. And I think we'll see more and more of that. Of you're not just going to be able to go mint 100 out of a small collection. Like you're not just going to be like to basically, because people, if you're minting 100 of something, well, they're just doing it to sell. It's for financial gain, and not there's anything wrong with financial gain, but when you talk about curating a community and active users and active participants, not just farmers, I think this element of, not to go back to InfoFi, but I think where they were starting to get it right, shout out to Zeet, who's continuing to build adjacent to that InfoFi space, is when they were giving you credit for giving you multipliers, and Quacks did this as well, but giving you multipliers for assets you held. It didn't guarantee you're going to be at the top of the leaderboard. It didn't guarantee you're going to get a payout, but if you were participating, if you were talking about the thing and you held assets, you had a better chance. You were going to move up the leaderboard. Same thing with, you get a better chance of winning these mint passes if you did all the above, not just grinded and, farm something and clicked a bunch of buttons because you wanted to get an asset that you were just going to sell. I think part of what I'm trying to land, it's not quite hitting, is those people who have done all the above, people who have held, like the one thing I'd like to see them add, like let's say they do a Beeple event, and this is going to be self-serving, but I'm going to say it anyways, and I do believe this, is give an extra perk, an extra multiplier based on time held. So for some people like us, Aaron, if we've held for mint, that should be like the equivalent of holding like one. If you've held one ape for mint, it should be like the equivalent of holding, like you bought 5 apes last week. right?
Yeah.
I'm just making up numbers. I don't know the exact ratio, but my point being is we're much less like if I would have hit the Arsha Mint, I'm probably not, I can't say for certain, but I'm probably not selling. I'm a supporter. I'm vested in this ecosystem. I'm long Otherside. I'm long the Yuga ecosystem. And if I'm holding a bunch of assets, I'm also actively participating. The odds of me not just flooring that asset or dumping it into a WETH bid is significantly greater than someone who just got in Otherside last week, grinded their way to level 60. I'm not saying they did it just for a flip, but it's much easier to tell who's doing it just for short-term financial gain and just can't wait to dump it on someone else.
But Cap, let me say this, okay? Farmers and degens and traders and those who dump, even dump is a negative connotation, right? Those who sell after mint or they sell whenever, it's all fine, right? I know that we've all in the last few years, like we've had to be like, the only good thing you can do is hold and hold forever. And if you sell, you're turning your back on the community, etc. And do you know why that is the case? Because at a certain point, the NFT trading platforms stop paying royalties to artists and creators. And I would suggest that if royalties come back, you won't care if people are farming your collection. You won't care if people are minting and selling. You will still have a base. Like it'll be up to you as the artist or the founder to give people a reason to stay. But if you have a core group, like a lot of collections do, of amazing holders and collectors that are staying because they love the community, they love the founders, they love the perks, utilities in real life, whatever, right? It's okay if the other X percentage of people sell and trade your collection all day long because they're creating volume for you. And if that volume actually pays royalties, then that is a revenue stream. So you can do more for the people who are holding. And with Unvault, I would say that you can reward the holders, and you should, but you can also reward the sellers. Because without people selling, your collection has no volume, it has no attention, it has no revenue stream off of royalties. And I think that as a space, we have to start moving away from it's bad to make money, it's bad to sell. Like if you had nailed an Irish mint and you were able to sell it for however much, God bless you, man. Right?
Are you reading the abstract chat, Aaron?
Am I doing what?
Are you reading the abstract chat?
No.
It's so funny because it's like you're literally without unknowingly, you are like, I was not like pushing back, like not even like really disagreeing, I guess maybe respectfully disagreeing with Hans. By the way, thank you very much for the big Pingu tip as always. Greatly appreciate you, sir. He says, agree it was good, but 25% of the collection sold within 2 days and 15% listed. Those aren't low numbers. So I didn't mean to FUD the Arsha Mint. I love these new methods. Was great to see. I'm just a little less impressed. The point being is, both of your points being is, it's okay for like to see sales. Like, and in fact, to your point, Aaron, you want to see sales, especially now in a world of royalty protected contracts. Like that's helps give the collection lifeblood. I think I need to, like, this is all coming to me in real time. I need to put some more thought to my words. I don't know what the right percentage is. I don't know what the optimal percentage is. Like 99% unique distribution. I think that's pretty strong. I think we'd all could agree if that's like having a 99% unique distribution is better than like 10% unique owners. What I don't know is like if 25% of the collection sold within 2 days, is that good? Is that high? Is that low? I really don't know. To both your points, some did sell. To your point, that's not a bad thing. That's kind of a good thing. I think where I net out is, and also like, as I responded, like that's fair, good feedback or good comment, but something that was free that runs up to a couple $1,000s pre-reveal, it's not nothing. and no shame on anyone who's sold, by the way. I'm not sell shaming at all. And you do expect people to take profits. To your point, Aaron, it's okay. And in fact, especially if royalties are protected, it does benefit the volume, benefits the business. I don't believe NFTs, collectibles, digital art, game assets, whatever the thing is, most of this stuff is not really intended or meant to be traded with extreme velocity and extreme volume. Like the whole people buying and selling just to farm points on a NFT marketplace. I think that's a net negative. I don't know the exact percentage, but some sales, to your point, are good, especially if royalties are protected. And I think where my bigger point is distribution, your initial, who you're starting your community with really matters. Because if 100% of your people bought the thing just so they could immediately dump it, they have no desire to participate, they have no desire to collect, they just want to dump it, well, your floor is going to get bricked. It's going to go to zero. And it's going to discourage people who might have been interested from even checking the thing out because it started at $100 and now it's zero. That thing's a failure. It's human psychology.
Well, if it went to zero, but I'm going to push back a little bit because with the minter's divot, which is really a minter's bonus, okay? If you mint, let's say you mint 10, let's say a collection lets you mint 20, okay? So let's say the collection mints out and every motherfucker sells it. Like they all sell it, right? First of all, that means somebody's buying it, okay? If they're not burning them, I would argue that if people minted and then they all send them to a burn wallet, then yeah, your collection's dead. If people bought it and then sold it, there are other buyers. So as the collection founder or artist, what are you doing to incentivize people to not hold because holding is the best thing you can do, but hold because there are a core group of people that really love the collection and they want to be part of it, right? Whatever the percentage is. But here's a really successful mint for a collection in the world of royalties, okay? You mint out 100%. It's not a free mint. It's actually a paid mint. You end up earning revenue for your company, for your business, so that you can operate and take care of the people that stick around and you can do great things for them, which will probably also attract other people, right? So that minting out is important as a revenue stream, for your company or project. That's what I want people to start thinking about, as opposed to, oh, why are these people trying to make money? Because it takes money to do things. It takes money to, run your business, to hire a team, to reward your holders. It does take money. So the thing mints out and there's a huge turnover volume, right? Now, listen, me, if they let me mint 10 and I can swing it, I'm going to mint 10 and I'm going to sell 10. Why is that? And I hear the collective gasp from everybody in the listening audience. Why is that? Because I'm going to get a minter's bonus, which means that if I buy them, if I mint them, then I'm going to have a reward through the bugs program where when those 10 that I bought sell, I'm going to get rewarded with the equivalent of a piece of the royalty. Okay. And for some collections, that'll be in perpetuity. All right. Now, I hope that those mints that I bought get sucked into some kind of, bullshit farming system, but they're paying royalties, because then you know what? Then I'm doing very well in my rewards program. But now what I'm also going to do is I'm also probably going to go back and buy another 10 to hold, or to see, did I hit a jackpot, on the reveal, or, do I get the soft stake 5 if something happens? What kind of divot, which is really a reward system, do I get from the collection? So I'm going to mint, I'm going to help that company or that artist generate revenue for themselves. Then I'm going to sell to try to generate rewards for me. And then I'm going to buy back in so I can be part of that community. And those things all work when royalties are being respected. And I will remind you and the listeners that there is no reason why royalties cannot be respected on every single platform. You don't need a magical 721C for a company to respect royalties. OpenSea can start paying royalties today if they want to. And you know how I know that? Because we're going to start paying royalties immediately when we go live, even in the beta. If there are sales that on our platform, that collection will receive the royalties whether they want them or not, because there are some collections who are so Stockholm syndromed at this point where they're like, we don't care about royalties, not important, we don't need it, let's figure out something else. Good for you. You should figure out other things. We're still going to pay you your royalties. You can give them to charity, you can give them back to your community if you hate that revenue stream, but we're going to honor it. If you put a royalty in your contract, we are going to honor it.
Yeah, I love it. Ilan, we'll get to you here in a second. I do like Hans also agreeing with you. It says, trading is essential for any collection with royalties enforced. It even cuts both ways. Fully agrees. And why, since we're talking like unique ownership, and I gave you some alpha earlier. If you were listening when I said, I called it, actually, I tried to give you alpha. I called it stonks. It's actually slonks. Is this mint from yesterday that it ripped up. It was like 0.4 this morning when I talked about it. It's now almost 0.7. But I want to share, because since we're on the topic of unique ownership, and be careful, like don't go. I mean, if you want to go ape into this thing, by all means, like to each their own. If you want to go play this game,
art, though.
It's a punk derivative, and look like when I know it's been a while since we've been trading NFTs and trading, mints into reveals and playing the NFT trading game. But something that would be like a red, yellow flag to me is unique ownership at 13.2%. Meaning of this collection that was near free mint, you've got a lot of people, like if you look at holders, are probably holding hundreds, 310, 235, 100. Like, I don't know these people, but I'm guessing most of them probably aren't, and you got 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. They're probably not just vaulting 100 slonks because they love the art of a punk derivative and they're going to hold it forever. Maybe so, not knocking anyone, but I'm guessing that, this person, it's all, the only thing they have in their wallet is 310 slonks. Well, that's 18 ETH now. So they went from a free mint to 18 ETH. They're probably, I'm not saying certainty, probably a good chunk of those are just going to dump on your head. So this floor is going to crack. Like, again, if I'm evaluating something from a collector standpoint, if it is a project I want to support and be in it for the long haul, and not am I going to be down if the price dips a little bit? No, but something going from, even this case, 0.63 to like 0.0063, it's going to crush momentum. It's going to stall interest in the ecosystem. It's going to, so like there is this fine line between, yes, you want to see trading, you want to see volume. I think it's also, as we start getting back into the NFT trading game, things to be aware of. Not something could be up 1,500% on the day. It's exciting. Just know that a lot of those people, when there's only 13% unique holders, there's only 1,200 holders at a supply of nearly 10,000. They're probably not in it for the long haul. They're probably looking for some extra liquidity sooner than later. And just know what you're getting yourself into. If one of those people that's holding 300 decides they want to exit, it's bricking the floor. Like and
they will. And you're right. Like
I don't know anything about this collection other than it's a punk derivative. I know nothing about it other than it's punk derivative, and it went from like free to 0.068 ETH in a day. Another sign that we're back. I mean, if we're having punk derivatives run up to 0.06 ETH floor in a day, I don't care if there's 1,000 holders or 100 holders. Like that's, that is you don't see this sort of stuff in the depths of a bear. Sorry, go ahead.
But Cap, you're right. And this is what I was saying before, is that we have to inform people. Maybe there's some people, maybe 10% of your audience is peeking their head back in after 4 years or for the first time ever, because they're hearing that NFTs are making a comeback, right? And they need to know that derivatives of collections very rarely end up doing well. I'm sure there are some, some exceptions, but I remember, back in the day when people would have like a dirt bird, and they were like, we need to get this collection to Moon. And I'm like, oh, you guys are serious? Like, oh no, that's probably, and I love my dirt bird, by the way. It has a cowboy hat, but I didn't think it was going to do anything financially. I just thought it was like goofy fun. And so, yes, people need to understand that they might very well get slonked, if they slonk into the collection. Don't think slonks are going to make you rich, although maybe you're a great trader and they will. There's all different kinds of activity and action happening in the space. There are people who are able to slonk a slonk and get a whole lot of slonk out of it. There are people like me who would probably never slonk it because I'm a terrible trader, slonker, and I probably would end up holding the slonk. So you definitely want to know who you are, and you don't want to put all of your slonks in one basket. You want to make sure that you don't want to be a one trade person who just got slonked out of the space, is what I'm trying to say.
Speaking of slonking it, I don't know. I can't go to Illin on that. That doesn't sound right. The War Room did get me this morning. You didn't get me when you thought you got me, but yeah, I don't even know where to go with this. Illin, please save me from myself. GM, what brought you up this morning? Questions for Aaron?
Nah, dude, that's wild. I was the same way, dude. I was kind of losing it there on the slonk-tasticness. But no, dude, I wanted to sort of discuss the point of, again, having the Arsham Mint and like the mechanic there. And we often heard in the very early days, of course, oh, we're so early, like this is all experimentation. I think obviously having been here for a long time now, and a long time in sort of NFT parlance and space parlance is damn near the beginning, but that's not very long in the grand scheme. But I think like the evolution of trying to get things right, trying to service the community, trying to make sure you make as many people happy with the process as possible. You allow as many people that are here for the right reasons the opportunity to get involved. And again, I mean, this is work in progress, right? Like this is building a plane while you're flying type deal. So I think that the most important part of when discussing the Archman and trying to pigeonhole it in, oh, this is just like another farming or whatever, I think really misses the point. I think that you have to dig into the actual minutia, which you did a good job on, to really understand what's happening with that particular mint and everything that went into it, and all of the sort of different weighted metrics that they had to incorporate to ensure that that they were doing the right thing by the largest number of people.
Yep.
And also like servicing the platform, like making sure that the metaverse was sort of front and center, because that in and of itself adds its own sort of unique flair to this particular mint. And so yeah, I mean, I have a real issue with the space always trying to go binary with things, and founders do it, holders do it, and because like the human mind just can't grasp nuance and minutia, they make up their mind first and then create an excuse second and then whine about it on the timeline third. So I have to Figgy and the crew. I mean, I think what they did with the Arsham Mint was pretty genius. The weighting seemed very, very fair. It incorporated a lot of feedback, particularly around codas being overly weighted, right, in the raffle ticket, delineation or whatever. So yeah, dude, I mean, I think that always in explaining this type of thing, you have to ensure that people understand that, you know, there is nuance here, there is minutia, and if you care, right, if you care about it and you want to see, you know, sort of that innovation and that progress toward, you know, like we said, servicing the most amount of people, and making the most amount of people that are engaged in this, you know, feel like they've been seen and heard and understood and had a fair shake. This is that. So
yep, I do. I saw we got Achilles come up as well as Hans. Achilles, I know you're up here first, but if you don't have a heart out, I'd like to go to Hans first before we get too far away from Slonks.
Oh yeah.
Is that good?
I just went up actually to say to remind people. I went up and you were saying the same thing actually. Is that guys, just look at the freaking unique holders for a project that you're freaking minting or trading, because it doesn't make sense. Like, as you said, 13% doesn't make sense on any project. They're going to dump on you when the price goes up. So just pay attention to that. I came up for this and to say good morning, and that's it.
Awesome. Good morning. Pleasure's always. I did get some additional information, which makes the 13% make a little more sense. Still proceed with caution. But Hans, I'm not sure if that's what brought you up, but I was going to share what you just shared in the abstract chat. It says Slonk has a burn mechanism for a token. So it is just a bit different, but in general agrees. But so basically people are, it's another mechanic to essentially like a pre-sale without doing a pre-sale. In this case, they did the NFT mint, and then there's going to be a burn to get a token. Hans, what else, any other information about Slonks that might help connect some of these dots? Appreciate you sharing.
Hello. No, not that much. It's just that I saw it and I wondered. And normally, 13% holders, that is a red flag. But in this case, it's a bit special. You get to burn these things, and then you get a token drop. And I think people are betting on that. Besides that, it was very cheap. So yeah, people got a lot. On the other hand, in the other side, a 99% holder distribution. Yeah, if you do a 1 per wallet mint, then you get numbers like that. I mean, my whole point in the abstract check was not that I don't like what they did with the Azure Mint. I think it was great, but it was a fully Otherside promotion. And for that thing, they did an awesome job. But this is not, in my opinion, a new thing, how to mint collections. I don't see that. And that was why I stepped up in the abstract chat in the first place. I just didn't want to bother with the unfold update, so I did it in the chat and not on stage. But that was my point. I mean, I like what they did in the other side. I'm a fan of the other side. I bought 2 apes because of the other side. But this mint was very specific for that platform.
Yep.
And not something that was useful for collection mints in general, in my opinion.
Well, I think where I think it could be useful for other collection mints, I do think we could see others utilizing Otherside to instead of using Discord to create some Discord games or allow list mechanics. Like, I think we could see, for those that don't have a blockchain or something where or a game, something where they can measure participation or activity. I think beyond just social post and sharing, a meme on Twitter, I think Otherside creates another medium for upcoming collections to gauge participation, to drive community, and like, I think there's something here we could see others using Otherside to help. And it doesn't have to be the only way they curate their allow list or their community, but I think it could be one other mechanism that, in my opinion, is better than the Discord calisthenics of old.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree on that.
Okay, fair.
But that was my whole point.
Aaron, I do want to go back to you. I have to say, I've got speaking of calisthenics, you may see me do some calisthenics here. I've got 3% battery on the MacBook. I thought I would get through the show. Apparently it's draining faster than I thought. And I can see this is like ridiculous. I can see a charge port. This will reach it. However, there's 2 plugs in the top plug, what I need, has the Rodecaster plugged into it. The bottom one won't fit. This charger is too big. So long story short, the only way I think the only way I can do this right now is I gotta unplug the Rodecaster, plug this in, then plug back in the Rodecaster. So I think what TLDR, we may lose audio for a few seconds. I think the Rodecaster is going to reboot. I'm trying to think of another way to do this. I just want to give you a heads up before my MacBook dies.
I'll cover for you because you're not going to lose my audio.
Well, we might, because we won't lose your audio on YouTube or Abstract. We might lose it. I think we'll lose it on Audio Spaces until I get the Rodecaster power back on. So I'm going to hand you the mic. If you want to, if you're on Audio Spaces and you lose Aaron, know that I'll be right back. It's just I got to unplug the Rodecaster. I'll have to power back on, and then we'll be live. But yeah, Aaron, appreciate the cover, and my apologies. I thought I could make it through, but the mic is yours, Aaron, and I'll do this as quickly as possible.
Okay. Well, look, here's a plot twist. I'm just going to go. Why don't I just go on the audio space?
Yeah, you could do that. Then people on YouTube are going to lose you. Like basically, like the Rodecaster, it allows to do both. Okay,
so
I'll pick your poison, basically.
I'll talk here.
All right, I'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Haber, Bored Ape Yacht Club 2960. I know a lot of you in the audience, by the way. And over on the Abstract chat, maybe you don't know what my partner Ernest Lee and I are building, but I want to tell you, it's called Unvault. And we can take every collection on all 7 blockchains I mentioned before and have them show up on Abstract. And it's not an entirely new collection. It's all one collection. It's just which NFT on which chain is active at any given time. The rest of the chains are locked up in escrow with only the owner, the holder, being able to access it at any given time. And it allows every collection to go over to Abstract, every Abstract collection to go over to ETH mainnet, Solana, etc. And why would you want to do that? Because you can get more community members, holders, because people will buy with their native currency on their native chains, but you can also potentially get them to come over to your chain too if you have some kind of special perk. Anyway, that's Unvault, and you can get into our private beta, not our public beta, if you DM me and you ask for access. How are you doing, Cap? Are you back?
I made it. I probably cost myself the security deposit, but I jammed I kid. I didn't break anything, but I figured it out. Like I just a little bit of elbow grease, as the boomers used to say, a little bit of just brute forced it through, and I didn't have to unplug the Rodecaster.
Do people not say elbow grease anymore? This is important.
What's that?
Do people not say elbow grease anymore?
I mean, I haven't heard it mentioned in quite a while. Maybe it's still a thing. I don't know.
I want to talk about my collection called Elbow Grease coming up next week.
If this was really like full on Raging Bull, if it was 2021, we'd already have a derivative of Slonks, and there would be an elbow grease trait in it.
Yeah, but the kicker is that the derivative of Slonks would be all original art.
Before I forget, important things to talk about from consensus this week. On-chain chocolate. This was my breakfast, courtesy of, I know, the XRP Army. This is my free XRP shout out today. This was my breakfast this morning. Chocolate bar from On-chain Chocolate from the XRP Mart. I'm trying to think I mentioned the one carnival booth. There was a lot of stages. There's a lot of stages at Consensus. A lot of good talk tracks, a lot of good speakers. The Mike Seelig, the commissioner of the CFTC, was speaking. He is really bullish, and they are going hard for legitimizing and pro regulation for prediction markets. That was an interesting conversation. Trying to think any other booths that stood out.
Wait, what was your conversation with Ernest? Did he give you any secrets?
He did. Yep.
Okay. What are the secrets?
Well, it's alpha. I don't know if I think he said I couldn't share. It's not public yet.
Okay.
I truly don't know if I'm supposed to talk about just some upcoming once Unvault goes live, there is some fun stuff he has planned for one of the collections that you all own.
Okay. Yeah.
He also talked about potentially doing some due diligence, but most likely not, because you guys are all busy, not taking on another project at this time. So I won't go there.
Well, I feel like you, but yeah, right. We actually had a big conversation last night, Ernest and I, about.
Oh yeah.
Well, because people keep throwing projects at us.
Okay.
You
Yes,
know, and
you're catching what I'm putting down.
Well, I think everybody is. I mean, if you pay attention to this, I mean, you're not good at keeping secrets. You know, like if anybody is paying attention to the space at all. But the thing is, there's only so much bandwidth, right? And so we were talking about, if you take on a project, when I say if we take on a project, would it be enough to put it under an Unvault umbrella and to say, we're going to do X, Y, and Z for this project, bring it into the Unvault fold, but we're not going to pretend like we're going to have a picnic on Sunday. We're just going to help everybody, monetize, in the collection, holding, trading, etc. And there are some things that we haven't announced yet that maybe he told you about that will really help in that way, and give people ownership of their IP, and protect the collection from copycats, etc. Like, would that be enough for people to be like, we're glad that somebody's paying attention to this collection, because the old owners are exhausted. They just can't do anything. They don't have the financial means. They don't have the bandwidth. So that was the big discussion about, can we help collections? Because we do get offered collections. Can you take over my collection? Because I love it, but I can't do anything with it. And so that was a big debate that we had. Would holders like to see a collection being protected, given opportunities within the Unvault system, or does everybody think that every collection can become Bored Ape Yacht Club?
Yeah, I mean, not to speak for all others, but I do think there is something, it's different by collection, right? There's definitely something there to be said for, I think the first person I heard was Riggs, called it utility debt. And just the liability in the sense that even if you don't have debt on the books, there's vested holders, and again, varies by collection. Some of these collections people might have paid multiple ETH for, might have paid 10 ETH for their asset that's now 0.1, and you're picking up that utility debt in the sense that they've got expectations based on what they bought in for, and expect new ownership to deliver upon said expectations. That's tough.
But I think in that case, you just have to be transparent and say, this is what we're going to be doing. This is not what we're going to be doing. We want to let everybody know. And so, because look, if you bought something for multiple ETH and it's a 0.1 right now, I really hope that it makes a rebound. But the way that it's currently going, and obviously I'm talking about an imaginary collection here, but the imaginary collection with the imaginary ownership, it's not happening. And so, look, baseball teams sometimes change managers. The Red Sox fired their manager in the first 3 weeks of the season. Phillies fired their manager, and God bless them, hired Don Mattingly, and they've had a lot of success since then. Sometimes you have to fire the manager and hire Don Mattingly, and are you going to get what I don't even know who the ex-Phillies manager was, but are you going to get the promises that the ex-Phillies manager put out there from Don Mattingly? No, he's going to come in and do his own thing, but you're going to win. right? And so maybe it's not the exact utility that was promised. And again, this is completely imaginary here, but maybe you will win, right? And what does that winning look like? But I think if you come in and you're transparent about what you're going to do, then I think it's okay. And by the way, we did take over Bulls on the Block, which you know, I'll be the first to say, like, gosh, I wish people were paying attention to Bulls on the Block more than they are. But we have spent the last year or so building on Vault, partially to have Bulls on the Block come back up.
That was my alpha that I'm not going to share, was something related to Bulls on the Block. I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope that's not too much, but
that's okay. I mean, I've talked to Ernest about different things that Bulls on the Block should have perks on when it comes to on Vault, and we are in the process of going back and forth to say what can that be. And there are certainly things coming up for Bulls on the Block, but but Bulls on the Block also, it's like we're not going to take on 50 other collections and give it the same amount of attention because we don't have the bandwidth. But if people are desperate, in terms of ownership, like they don't have the bandwidth, they can't afford it. It's a horrible situation to be in, to launch a project and to have high hopes for it, and then get into the reality of it that you can't do anything, and you've promised people something and you can't do anything. Those are the kind of collections I'm talking about, where can someone bring them relief and also do something new for those collections to help them come back up. And especially with Unvault and royalties and the divot and all those things, that we are giving a little bit of a lifeline to those creators, artists, and founders who just don't know what to do anymore. And in addition, we're also giving not a lifeline, but another revenue stream back to the big collections that have had to do all kinds of like gymnastics in the space to be like, okay, well, we're not getting royalties anymore. You've heard the numbers. We lost $100 million in the last 4 years of potential royalties. So anyway, blah blah. Glad you talked to Ernest, and I think people could probably figure out your the first part of what you were talking about, but that's all right.
It was great to chat with Ernest. Just gets me, and I said this earlier, it's not just because I'm not just glazing you because you're on the show. It's not just because of our partnership, but my conversation with Ernest was indicative of, I went near almost every single conversation. I mean, maybe I was trying to think for one that was just like a throwaway conversation or wasn't exciting, but I mean, yeah, quite literally everyone I think I interacted with yesterday is doing something cool, is working in the space, is building, or supporting some, like, it's just, there's so much energy and forward momentum right now. It's hard not to be excited. And while we have come a very long way on the tech front, this foundational layer is there now that we didn't have before. It really does feel like we're just getting started. It feels like we're, okay, the foundational layer is there now. Now, a lot of these builders who have been here for years are taking this next step forward, doing new things, innovating on chain, experimenting on chain again. And really, really exciting time. Diego, always love hearing from you. I don't know if you caught the picture. I was just bull posting arepas once again. Pudgy, you missed the Pudgy party. I did think of you when I saw they were serving arepa pepiata. What is pepiata? You help me with that new word.
Thank you, Cap. Arepa de reina pepiada.
What is pepiata? Is that it? So it was pulled chicken with avocado, but what is the pepiata? What does that mean?
Exactly. Pulled chicken with avocado and mayonnaise, and some people add some black pepper to it. I don't like it but a lot of people think that's the best arepa combination from the Venezuelan cuisine.
Yeah, wasn't my. I'm not going to knock on the Arepa, but especially getting in a crypto conference, like I will eat it every time. Partial to the homemade ones I've had, but I'll just say that. And yeah, I'm not a mayonnaise fan, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Amazing, amazing, Kat. Hey, I just wanted to jump in to say hi. Very interesting conversation that you are having about this mint on the other side. I saw the timeline and the feed. It's amazing seeing people winning by being active. But I also want to remind us to see if you can share more about it. Clinosaurs is gonna launch today's the baby Clinosaurs.
Oh,
On
really?
the platform. Yeah.
Okay, I missed this somehow. I'm usually pretty in tune with all Clino developments.
Yeah, let me pin the post on the Jumbotron. Also invite the people to join the Discord of Clinosaurs. We're gonna have a little heart gathering in a few hours. In 1 hour exactly. We're gonna be there and we're gonna be talking about that. Okay.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks for the heads up. I appreciate it. I had the herd is assembling. They have a live Discord herd gathering, 11 a.m. Eastern. Official kickoff of our blind box launch.
Yeah.
So these are
the Clinos.
okay. Very cool. Oh, I see now. Series 1 blind box. I'm sharing here. Yeah, drop in that Discord at 11 to get about an hour. And yep, love to see who's pulling the online exclusive secret rare. Love to see team I really respect in this space who's continued to build, continue to ship, and yeah, good for them. One that I love supporting. Appreciate you sharing, and glad you jumped up and shared that. Also, speaking of other teams, that this one probably doesn't get enough love, but teams that have been building and shipping and first time I came across them was it was in Miami. It was Art Basel 2023, maybe. Raposa. They have an NFT collection on Solana as well, and they have a coffee company. They had a coffee booth. It was actually at the D-Gods event in Art Basel. I think it was 2023, maybe 2024, but I think 2023. Anyways, long story short, they just announced yesterday that they landed a deal with the Miami Heat and someone else. Who was it? Miami Heat and the Miami Marlins. They're relocating their headquarters to Miami and opening their first cafe and roastery. It's a coffee brand born on Solana, now the official coffee partner of the Miami Heat, Miami Marlins. Love to see it. Cool. Pretty cool stuff. And yeah, like I don't know. Like I have a couple of their NFTs. I think they're staked. I would get like extra airdrops on Solana, but I haven't kept up. They impressed me so much to where it wasn't just good coffee. I went and picked up a couple of NFTs just to support them, and just forgot about it. Moved on, and I've seen him at a couple other live events since, and love to see teams that have continued to build win like that. And while I don't know the deals, that's a pretty major. I mean, any coffee company becoming the official partner of the Heat and the Marlins, I think that's a pretty big deal. And to see one that's crypto native brand that just kept moving through the ups and downs, and to have a moment like that's pretty exciting. I just pinned the post up top. There's I don't know if it's the whole presentation from Solana Accelerate, but there's at least a clip there. Yeah, it's just a clip, it looks like, but you can probably find more if you're interested. So congrats to the team, and yeah, keep builders out there, keep building, keep shipping, and you never know when your big breakout moment may occur.
Hey,
Aaron,
Pat,
yep, go ahead.
That is cool. I have to run to our morning dev meeting. I appreciate you having me on so long. I appreciate all your listeners. Cap, I'm going to send you an invite to our private beta. So we've been talking about on Vault for a while. You can go and look around and offer for your listeners. They can come in and join the private beta, and I will 99% guarantee that anybody who is in the private beta will get a bug when the mint comes out.
Hey.
So, and for everybody else, if you're holding any of the collections that are signed up with us, Heavy Metal and STK and Alpha Dogs and Bulls in the Block and Clutch Puppies and Bad's Head Yacht Club, the list goes on and on. Your collection will get an allotment of bugs for you to claim and get on that rewards train right from the beginning. So thank you for having me. Thanks to everybody who's been listening, and I'll see you next week if I don't see you before.
Awesome. My pleasure of mine. Appreciate you. Thanks for the bug or the beta invite, and yeah, enjoy that dev meeting. Also, thanks to Hans and Ilan and Diego, Joey, Achilles. I don't think I'm missing anyone else. Anyone else who joined us on stage, I greatly appreciate you adding to the conversation. I think earlier I said I would give you a quick tour of Miami. If I can do this now that I've got a little charge in my MacBook, it's not going to die on me. This building behind me is where the Pudgy event was last night. The Science Museum, Science Centers and Aquarium. Really cool spot. I wish, I'm kicking myself for not getting more pictures. It was just a cool venue. I know maybe not new for, and then the bay or the harbor or whatever it's called is right behind that. So it's right on the water. And on the other side of that is South Beach. So yeah, cool venue, cool spot. And people love Miami. It's good conference city. I'm biased because I'm a Floridian now, but sorry, Riggs. It beats New York 10 times out of 10, especially New York in April. I still have PTSD from walking to the Magic Eden cruise and the like sideways freezing rain, just brutal. You don't have to deal with that down here. So anyways, I'm not gonna start the Miami versus New York PvP conversation this morning as we close out the show, but I really do appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate Unvault for our partnership, and not just for supporting the show, but the reason we entered into a longer term deal with them. And this was, it was a good conversation. It just made sense. It fit into today's conversation. So the segment turned into kind of like a guest co-host today, but really do appreciate what they're building, how they're building. And it's just another group of builders that are doing their best to really help push the space forward. I've been beating this protected royalty drum for a very long time. And I think they are very much so a net positive for the space, for the builders, the creators, and to Hans's point, Aaron's point, like trading is not a bad thing. Sales aren't a bad thing, especially when royalties are protected. It can really help support, a bootstrap startup business. Like it can be it's not just like the Yugas and Pudgies of the world that could be bringing in six figures or millions of dollars in royalties for a bootstrap startup. Like it really can help them get off to a great start and accomplish their goals. So excited for Unvault to go live. Excited to be back in the home office tomorrow. I'm bummed I didn't plan out my travel well. I'm missing the Jack and Jackie. Appreciate the invite to your dinner and yacht party tonight. I wish I could make it, but I got to hit the road here shortly and get back for my obligations this evening, and then I'll be back in the home studio tomorrow. The link for tomorrow's show is pinned up top. We will be back live. Won't be holding the mic in my hand, but be back normal setup. We'll be live on X, YouTube, Abstract, all the above. Back normal, regularly scheduled programming tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern, and look forward to seeing y'all then. With that, hope you all, for those in Miami, enjoy Miami. If you missed the arepas last night, go find a Venezuelan restaurant today. Get some arepas. Get a colada. You have to have a Cuban colada if you've not yet had that. They actually are serving colada at one of the booths inside Consensus, and enjoy the jet fuel. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.